Welcome back. In this lecture, we will deal with the first type of the vector products, the scalar product. Let's look at the two vectors, a and b. The angle between them is theta. The scalar product between a and b is defined as a dot b equals to the magnitude of a multiplied by the magnitude of b multiplied by cosine theta, which is the angle between the two vectors. If a or b is the zero vector, we get that the dot product is equal to 0. We can recognize that from the definitions of the dot product. The magnitude is equal to 0. The scalar product between two vectors is also called the dot product, as I said before, a dot b, because the dot indicates the multiplication. There are two cases for zero dot product. The first one, as I said before, if at least one of the vectors is equal to the zero vector. And the second case is the more important case. If the vectors are perpendicular one to another, which means that the angle between the two vectors is 90 degrees. And that's because the cosine is equal to 0 in 90 degrees. Some special cases for the dot product is, for example, if the two vectors are parallel, have the same direction, the dot product is the multiplication between the two vectors' magnitude. And that's because the cosine of 0 is equal to 1. Because when the two vectors are parallel one to another, this is mean that the angle between them is equal to 0. The second case, if two vectors are in the opposite direction, then the dot product, do you guess what is? What is it? Yeah, actually it's the multiplication between the two magnitudes with the minus sign, because the cosine pi or 180 is equal to minus 1. The third case is the a dot b is positive when the angle or when theta is between 0 and 90 degrees. And this is because in this interval the cosine is positive, and it's negative when the angle is between 90 and 180, or in radians between pi divided by 2 and 2 pi. The dot product from the definition is equal to the magnitude of a multiplied by the magnitude of b multiplied by cosine theta, which means that it's equal to the magnitude of a multiplied by the projection of b on a. We will talk about projection at this section. So if you do not familiar with it, don't worry, we will get there. This is all what you need to know about the dot product, the first type of the vector multiplication. In the next section, we will talk about the second type of multiplication, the vector multiplication. See you there.